In this lecture, we're going to speak about a pretty common scenario and how to resolve it, and we'll look at some best practices as well. Right now, I'm in Sublime Text, and I'm located in the Lecture 52 folder. Let me go ahead and close the file browser here so you can see a little bit better. And I'm looking at index.html at the moment. What I'm doing here is I'm actually loading three scripts, one after the other. Script1.js, script2.js, and app.js. So this happens a lot when you actually import a couple of libraries, and so those libraries could be something you wrote yourself, or it could be external libraries as well. But in this case, these are two libraries that I wrote myself, and they're very, very simple. The first one is just declares a variable name. It's my name, Yaakov. And then the function say hello. And the function say hello does nothing more than just says logs hello plus the name, and it'll just say hello, Yaakov. Script number 2, which is what is declared afterwards, script number 2 is declaring a name John, and then it declares a function called say hi, and all it does again is just logs hi plus the name John. Now app.js, this is the third one in the list over here, app.js, it invokes say hello. This is from the first one, says hello, so it should say hello Yaakov, and then it invokes say hi, which is right here, and it should say hi John. Let's go ahead and save this and see what the console prints out. We save it and it says hello John and then hello hi John. Now that's kind of strange. Hello John, it really should have said hello Yaakov, not hello John. Now why is this happening? Well, it's actually pretty simple why this is happening. If you look at our index.html, the first thing that the browser loads is script1.js. And script1.js declares a variable name, and this name variable is sitting in the global scope, and it also declares a function called say hello, again in the global scope. So when this executes, it will take whatever name variable is sitting in the global scope. Now, right after script 1, we're loading script2.js, which again declares name in the global scope, which basically means that at this point right here, my name equals Yaakov gets overridden with name equals John. And then we declare another function, which is a little bit of a different name, that says hi, say hi, and that is the one that prints out hi plus name. So by the time we get to say hello, our name variable has actually changed from Yaakov to John. And what's going on is that one script is stepping on the toes of the other, basically. So how do we solve this situation? Well, one way of solving a situation is introduce namespaces. And a namespace is basically just a container for some functionality and for some declarations. The only thing is JavaScript doesn't really have namespaces that other languages have. However, in JavaScript, we could fake namespaces very easily. Let's go to script1.js, and instead of just saying Yaakov here, let's declare a variable called var Yaakov greeter, and we'll just make it equal to an empty object. Now, instead of just declaring name right here in the global scope, what I'll do is I'll declare name as a property of Yaakov greeter. So Yaakov greeter.name is Yaakov, and the function will be the same way. I'll just cut it out of here, and I'll say Yaakov greeter dot say hello equals this function. So now I have Yaakov greeter, and I can now refer to the name, and I could refer to say hello as through Yaakov greeter. One more thing I need to change is this name right here really should be not just name, but Yaakov greeter.name. Okay, so we're good here. If we go to now script2.js, we could do the same thing. We'll say var John greeter, and we'll make it equal to an empty object. And now everything else that we have in this file, we're going to start with, we don't need to declare a variable anymore because we already have one. We're going to start with this John greeter. So here it's going to be John greeter dot say hi, and we're going to take out the say hi out of here. And this again is going to be John greeter dot name. Okay, so now that we've converted this to a namespace, and now everything that we are referring to inside this in terms of the variable names and the functions are going to have to go through these namespace objects. So inside our app.js, in order to say hello, that's no longer going to work. So if I go ahead and save this and save that, you can see here now it says that say hello is not defined. Well, it's not defined because in the global scope, there's no such function as say hello. However, there's an object that has this function attached to it. So if I say Yaakov greeter dot say hello, and this will be John greeter dot say hello, dot say hi, and I save that, you can see how now it says hello Yaakov and hi John. So that worked perfectly. So this is something that you could do in order to separate kind of your namespace and separate your functionality into separate files and also into separate namespaces so you don't step one upon the other. But there's something you could do to go even further in order to separate different variables that are sort of like private variables between different scripts and different execution contexts. And that's what we're going to speak about in part 2 of this lecture.